welcome back to Hand Collectibles for another review and assembly of issues 27 to 32 this time. As you can see, there's a lot to put together in these issues, so not like the last package that it was, you know, quite simple builds like the chair, the rear chair, the front chair. This one is engine parts, gearbox parts, you know, so there's a lot to put together on this. And you also get this really cool license plate from the Too Fast, Too Furious Nissan Skyline, Brian's Nissan Skyline. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take a look through the booklets. Okay, just before we start on the assembly of the issues, I wanted to do a close-up video of this. So obviously this is the number plate, I believe, from the Too Fast, Too Furious Skyline. As you can see, it's a metal number plate. So really nice piece to have. You know, nice little collector's piece. Really well done, really well painted. Yeah, nice extra. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit more of a detailed look at that before just passing over it, because obviously it is one of the free gifts that you get. So, alright, let's move on to the first build. Okay, here we have issue number 27 and assembly parts. As you can see, this is obviously seat belts. We'll move that to one side and we'll just have a quick look through the book like we normally do. A bit more about displacement of the engine, a bit more about racing skylines. Really nice pictures in these books and all. You know, the guys in the team from the first obviously film. And this is a Skyline pace car there by the looks of it. And then driver's seat belt. So this shouldn't be too hard an issue to put together, as you can see. But it will be an integral part of the interior. Okay. And there you go, what it looked like when it's finally assembled. Okay, let's assemble this. Alright, here's the assembly parts for issue number 27. As you can see, the main seatbelt harness for the front seat. So we'll just start to put this together and see how easy it is. So I'm going to take the AP screws out, the only screws that come with it. And I believe you need the underflooring first. Right, we need the underflooring. And what we need, so take the seat belt. Okay, there's two little dowels here and here, and you want to take the seat belt, so making sure the seat belt logos are facing up, and you want to turn these around and you want to insert the first one on this dowel. There we go, that's on the dowel. And I believe once the seat's in, this one will insert on the opposite side. So the next step is to bring the seat in. You see the seat, it's got several holes. And the seat in, and I'll roll the seat belt over. And then you want to take this part and insert on the opposite side as well. So I'll hold the seat just above it. It's going to be an easy bit to do on camera. Just like that. Can't see what you're doing. There we go. So that's on both sides. And obviously your seat then just sits in its holes like that's got as well. Okay. Move these bits a little bit more central. I believe you can move these, yeah you can. Lovely. Alright, and then we're going to take these and we're going to thread them through the top of the seat. So that way around. Yep. This one as well. That way around. And then there's two more dowels at the rear. So obviously you can see where these are right at the rear. I can't move the seat too far forward, but yep, there's two more dowels here. You just attach the rear seat belts to. Once I get my fingers out of the way, I'll show you. So there we go. The underneath, and then obviously the seat will then fit into where its holes are, which are like there and there. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. If I haven't twisted these too much, have I? Oh, I might have twisted that one actually. Oh, I might have to come off and be re-put on. Right. Make sure when you put them on, you've got them correct. And your seatbelt ain't twisted, otherwise you have to go back and redo it like I just had. Okay, there we go. Now it's on, and it's correct. Lovely. You'll feel it when the seat drops into its holes, which is what you want. Then while holding the seat in place, you want to turn it over, and there is 4 screw holes on the back. And you want to insert your AP screws into there to screw the seat in. One there. One there. Don't have to go crazy tight with these. So just tight enough just to seat the seat nice and flush against the bottom of the floor. Oops. The interior is really starting to come along now. So don't go too tight. Just enough to get the seat in. That's it. And as you can see, there's the seat and the seat belts in. I suppose you can start doing these up and fudging them just to make them just sit nice and flush against the seat. But yeah, I mean that's a real nice touch. Looks very cool. As you can see, that's the back of the seat. Okay, no, that hasn't come out. Thought it'd come out then. We'll have to take the seat back out. Lovely, super cool. Okay, let's move on to the next issue. Okay, so here we have issue number 28, and this one actually not a too bad one either. So obviously you get the roll cage, and a set of screws, put that to one side, we'll have just a look through the book. Loads about the engine in the last package and beginning of this package by the looks of it. Johnny Tran, obviously from the first Fast and Furious film. More about the history of racing for Nissan, and then roll cage, the assembly guide. Quite an easy one to put together, and then what it'll look like at the end. Lovely picture of the actual model once it's complete and all. Okay, let's move on and build it. Okay, here we have issue 28, and as you can see we've got the roll cage, which is not metal, plastic. Be careful when you're screwing the screws into it. And then we've got some EP screws, yeah, EP screws. And obviously I believe you're going to get screws going to go under the underside, through the underneath of the car, straight into these to hold the roll cage in place. Okay, let's bring the bottom floor back in. Okay, now we brought the underfloor back in. You'll see like a hole here, there's a hole on the opposite side. So your roll cage maybe you've got to make sure these two notches here and here are on the back side of the undercage and the back side of the roll cage. them in the holes. There you go. And we're going to turn it over. Insert an EP screw into each end of the roll bar. Well, the roll bar in. Turn this around so you can do the other side as well. And there we go. Roll cage in. I know the seat should sit maybe a little bit further, or well, seat would just sit against that roll cage, or I don't know. We do a lot else, that's kind of where it sits. Very cool though, roll cage, nice touch. And that's that part on and completed. So just a nice easy one for that issue. So issue 28 now is complete, and we can move on to the next issue. Here we have issue 29. As you can see, fair bit to do in this one. Obviously gearbox. So yeah, this one's going to be quite a complex build. Up to one side, and we'll just have a look through the book, see what that entails. Bit of that endurance racing. More pictures of the skyline, some really nice pictures. The family of the Fast and Furious. That's an absolute great shot, a classic skyline. And as you can see, issue 29, stage 29, gearbox. Obviously to bolt onto the back of the engine, and then what it will look like at the end. Okay, here we have issue 29's assembly parts, and as you can see, there's a lot to put together in this. So we've got obviously the rear part of the gearbox, we've got these parts here, we've got the drive shaft, we've obviously got this hose here, and you always know when you get a lot of screws, it's probably going to take a little while to put this one together. So we've got some AIM screws, some AM screws, some SM screws, some EP screws, and some AP screws. So a fair amount of screwing in this part to put this together. Oh, okay. I've had a look at this. I kind of expected the rear gearbox to be metal, but it's not, it's plastic. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that, especially for the money you pay for these issues. It'd be nice if the rear gearbox was metal. I don't mind these other parts being plastic. The drive shaft maybe being plastic, but I'd like the rear of the gearbox to be a metal piece. But you know, it's just a small gripe, and it's my own personal preference. There might be a reason, weight distribution of the model, why the gearbox isn't metal and it is plastic. Okay, let's move on to assembly all of these parts. Okay, first step of issue 29 is to put the start motor on the gearbox with a AP screw. So only one screw to put this in. That on there, and then we'll turn this up this way, and as you can see, there's this little mounting point here, and if you look at the bottom of the start motor, this only goes one way. Once you've got it inserted in the way, the hole, there you go, it'll hold in place because it only inserts one way. A bigger screwdriver, because it's a slightly bigger screw. Keep it nice and flush while you're screwing it into it goes tight. You don't go too tight with these because obviously it's plastic on plastic. There you go. Start the motor on. And then next step is, I think we need to bring the engine back in. I've not seen the engine for a little while, so let's bring it back in. And here we are, the engine back in. And as you can see, it's a really detailed piece. For the guys that ain't watched my previous videos and you're just stepping in there to watch it, I mean, there's a lot of detail on this engine. It is ridiculous. It is. The Charger engine in Dom's Charger was detailed enough, but this is another level. It is. Okay, that's enough talking about the engine and move on to what we're actually building. Okay, so we want to take the bottom of the gearbox. Obviously you've got this little plate here, and it rolls through. You get the starter motor where it's meant to go, and it just goes in here, and then there's two little screw holes here and here to put it in place. And we're going to put them in with AIM screws. So we need 2 of those. These 2 AIM screws, screwdriver, are going in on the top of the gearbox up here. Right, and he's got the lower ones in yet. These ones going up here. Put this down flat just so I can screw it in. It's quite difficult to get in these ones. Upside down, because the bottom of the gearbox is right in the way of screwing it in without having a longer screwdriver. And obviously I want to get this tight because I want it to be flush. So there you go, so that's just one screw in. And I'll just put the next one in. And obviously you don't want to hold the engine too tight because there's so many small bits on it, you don't want to knock or break any of them bits off. Just got to do the same again. Make sure you don't knock anything. And we'll screw this one in as well. There we go. So these 2 screws, one here, so they are in. As you can see, starter motor just slides down the side of the engine. Very nice touch. And the next step is we'll need some EP screws. We're going to need 2 of them. And now we're actually going to put the EP screws down here to the bottom of the gearbox. Like I say, be careful plastic on plastic, you don't want to strip the thread out on these. Definitely not. This one as well. There you go, so that's them in as well. And you see gearbox is nice and tight to the rear of the engine now. Okay, well, what is the next stage? The next stage now, I think we're going to mount the gearbox inside, which is a very nice touch. Not sure which way around this goes, I believe it is this way. It's this way, so the thinner part onto the drive shaft inside goes. Looks like it goes that way. I'm trying to work this out. Okay, that's why I couldn't make no head of it. It sits to the side. Silly me. And obviously we've got the top part of the gearbox, and that bit just bolts on there, and then that bit is free spinning in here. Obviously top part of the gearbox on there, and this is fitted on with EP screws. We'll get some EP screws out here. So one here. That's tight enough. And then we'll work our way around like evenly. So right up here, got that clip into place. That one there. find out one in there. Have a look. Which one in here first? I said you don't want to go too tight with these. I just had to line that one just off camera because it's quite far down that piece of plastic. So I just had to make sure I could see where I was putting the screw. And there you go. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one here. Okay, that's them bits all on. And what is next? Okay, so the next part is this plate here. Looks like it goes up this way. It looks like it attaches somewhere here. Okay, yeah, I had it slightly around the wrong way around. It attaches that way around. And then this is put on by an SM screw. Let's get an SM screw out. And the SM screw just goes right through this hole here. Let's get a bigger screwdriver. Save having to mess around and really apply pressure to that. Get a bit tight with this because it's going into metal. And you can see that's on there and it's tight, which is where you want it. Now, next part is this part. This is the differential. So I presume we're going to tuck the gearbox in, like this, and then we're going to put the differential top part on. And this has got an SM screw. And also, it's got another screw that runs through it, but it's not an SM, it's an AP screw. So 2 screws to put this on. So the SM screw goes through a smaller hole here. Put in the bigger screwdriver again. Keep picking up a smaller one by accident. That's it. And then it was an AP screw for the next one. And this is going to go right down this centerpiece differential and screw it together. You know, just when you think, well, this is detailed anyway. This and this, and then you're adding bits to it and it's getting even more detailed. Just an excellent model. You know, loving this. When you got the drive shaft in, try and just make sure that you got the nice side to it, the drive shaft. Okay. And what's the next part? There's only one more part actually. Oh, 2 more parts. There's a hose as well. Oh, this time we're going to go to the opposite side of the engine. And we've got this, and this is going to go just on the underside of here, and this is going to be put in by an AM screw as well. So let's get an AM screw. And we'll put this on the underside. Just down here, and just hope it lines up with the hole. Feels like it has. Oh no, it hasn't. And as you can see, if you don't line it up, it moves about too much. Take that away. Yeah, be careful in lining this one up. probably easier to do it off camera, but I will try and do it on camera. I think I've got it this time actually. Yes, I have. Put the turbo pipe back on that I've just knocked off. Which way round it went there, the turbo pipe, did it go up there? I'll come back and I'll put it back on in a minute. Right, so that's that part completed. Okay, where does this other pipe go now? So this is the last part to put on. Okay, I found out where the turbo pipe went back on now, correctly. And then this one, see this end here, fits right in here. So this is the radiator hose, lower radiator hose, and you need just to insert it in there. Right, I'll try and just I think that's in. Looks like it is. Rear radiator hose right down now. I think that's in now. Okay, they're really starting to come together now. Obviously all these parts, you can watch these when you're putting extra parts of the engine. But yeah, wow, okay. Issue 29 complete. Let's move on to issue 30. And here we have issue 30 and assembly parts. As you can see, we've got the fan for the front of the engine. And some other engine parts. I'll move that to one side. We'll just have a quick look through the booklet. So, a bit more about the R34 GTR Z-tuned. This is obviously a famous car. Anything Z-tuned, and there it is. I think I owned a 1/8" scale auto version of this car at one point. Since passed out of the collection, as it grew in value, and I parted with it. And then stage 30, so the cooling system for the engine. Bits to put on. Obviously another complex issue to put together. Okay, issue 30, there's a lot of small parts for this one, plus some 2 QM screws. Yeah, there's a lot of little bits to put together on the engine, on the front of the engine. So, you know, this is fan and pulley system by the looks of it. Okay, let's take these bits out and put the engine back in the light box. Then we can put all these on the front of the engine. Okay, so here we have 30H and 30C. So I believe this one drops through this one, and then it connects to the top mount up here. So that one there, and then you'll feel it once it drops in. Okay, so that's that one done. So that one wasn't too bad. I have a feeling the next one might be though. Okay, it took me a while to work the parts out. I believe it's this part. Obviously these 2 little notch lines on. Then the disc. Then this part, but facing this way. So it gives you like this 3-part piece. And then this all drops on this peg here. So I'll drop it on bit by bit. So that part, then that part, then that part, and then there's a QM screw right here to screw it all in together. That's it. That was quite a difficult part to put together because working out all the parts. There's so many small parts in this one. It was quite difficult to work out. But yeah, just give you guys a closer look. Yeah, that's it there. Okay. That part on. Okay, so the next parts. Now you want these two and these two, and then these two here, these two little holes in front, and push these ones together, and then these on the north, so it's just got this pattern on the front, and this as well, and I think the raised bit is on the back, so there it goes flush, there. Okay, and then these parts, one goes here, one goes here. So the one, this part goes there, and then the other one. Oops, I'll pushed it off. Oh no. Not so easy to do. Right, let's push that on. Might be easier once that's on then to reinsert this into its pegs. Ah, it is. Right, there you go. So that's all on. Right, and that's all then now inserted and not to move about. Okay. Not so easy to do them ones. And there's still more small parts yet to put on. So we've got these part and this part next, and this part and this part. So we've got this spindle, clips onto here like that, and then that fits in the top of this one. Make sure that you don't snap any of these injectors when you're doing this. So there's a lot of detail bits. Right, now this next part. Okay, the last two. As you can see, it has got a big dowel on the rear and then a smaller dowel on the front. So the smaller dowel on the front fits into this one, like this. And then fits into the bottom of here. There we go. Right, and then the next part. Obviously putting these two on, so you get one big one, one smaller one. So you have 30D, 30p. So 30D is, let me just double check. 30D is the smaller one, 30p is the bigger one. The first one to go on is 30D, which is the smaller one. Okay, and this smaller one goes on this top one, around this one, and around that one as well. Try and just make sure when you put them on, putting it on as straight as can possibly be. You know, so the fans looks as good as it can be, and I think it needs to go on the rear one of this. You might need a small screwdriver just to put it on the rear. There we go. So round that one, round that one, round that one, and then back. Cool. Now let's bring 30p in, the bigger one, and this one now goes round all the others, and around this bottom one as well. Just make sure it's in them all. Yeah, and there we go. Thank goodness for that. Okay, so I think we may just have one more piece, which is the fan front. So here's the fan, very nice detailed piece. And that fits right on top of here. So just off centre the fan, so unusual design, so just push it in. Just keep rotating it until it goes in, and there it is. Loads of detail now on the engine. Unbelievable amount. Okay, and that does bring us to the end of issue 30. So quite a lot of bits on issue 30 to go on the engine. Obviously be careful when you're putting these bits on the engine not to knock any of the smaller bits off. You know, obviously I knocked a couple of bits off, but they were like the minor bits like pipes. You start to snap these. You do get extra ones of these, but you don't really want to be snapping out those parts. You don't. But yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next issue. And here we have issue 31. So as you can see, rad pack or radiator. And the issue, so you know, let's move them to one side. We'll take a closer look at them once we start putting it together. Loads of stuff about the engine. A bit more about Tokyo, the city that never sleeps. More great shots of skylines. Injectors and fuel lines, stage 31. Yeah, there's quite a lot to do in this one. A lot of detail work. Okay, so here we have issue 31's parts. As you can see, we've got some larger pipes, some slightly smaller pipes, these fixings, another hose, these fixings, the radiator, front and back, top, and fan cover. So yeah, a fair bit to do in this one as well. So let's crack on and start putting this together. Okay, the first step is to put these two parts together. So you've got obviously this hose which swings around this way, and then you've got this part here. And you just want to insert this in the end of the hose. So insert it till it clicks, and there you go. Hopefully I've got it right, but you can rotate it a little bit if you need to. And then we bring the engine back in. Here we go. And then we're going to insert this part into the engine. Now at the top of the engine, just here, in this bit here, you've got where this sits. So it might have been easier to do this part before we put the hose in, the fan on, but obviously it just sits here and there is a bit of movement in it. So I suppose when this goes on, we'll know what we're doing. When the fan cover goes on, I imagine this might plug into either the radiator or just around the fan cover. Okay, now we have these little VK clips. As you can see, they're the shape of a V, which is handy. So the first one just goes on the back here, in this hole here. You might, if you can't put these in, you might need to just get your tweezers to insert these, because I think these are going to be fairly tough, especially when you've got to start lining them through here. So I'm just going to go get a pair of tweezers. Okay, got my tweezers. Now we're just going to insert these in. Once they're in, you just push them down there. They go that way around. You can see them. And the next one. once they are in the hole, just push them down with your finger. Quite easy to do actually. I thought these were going to be a lot worse. It might be a bit harder to push down with my finger from where it is, but we'll see in a minute. One in there. Then one in there. Okay, you might just need to just turn your tweezers that way around and just apply a bit of pressure. Rotate them if you need to. Push them in the middle. Careful not to break them. That's it. And they're all inserted. In fact, they're going to have little pipes on them. It's going to be a right detailed job to do. Okay, we're now going to insert these parts, which are 30 eyes. So these are the smaller pipes, and I believe we're going to connect these. So they all go to the red. Yes, they all go to the red underside of one, so they'll go from this side to the red, 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 all the way down. Okay, so this is obviously going to be extremely difficult to do. You've got to insert the pipe over the top. Careful not to snap it, so you want to do it bit by bit. Nice and easy, you'll feel it go on. Then you bend the pipe. Extremely hard to do on camera because I can't tell where the top of the pipe is. I'm going to do it off camera just so I can. Okay, off camera wasn't too hard to do with a pair of tweezers. So as you can see, it comes out of this one, zigzags, and it goes in this one. So quite easy to do. I'll say that now, I've done it off camera. We'll put the next one on, we'll go the other way around this time. So we'll try and put it in the V-clip first. We're going to bend it into almost like an S shape and then insert it onto the bottom of here. There we go. Done. Might be a slightly easier way of doing it. So, to the bottom of the V-clip. It's on. And we'll turn it almost into an S. This one's quite difficult to get to because of where it is. There we go. And little by little, just push the pipe up bit by bit. So it's on. There, see it? There, it's on. On the V-clip again. V-clip first. Just push right down on the V-clip. There we go. And then turn it into an S. And then you need to go up and on. Quite hard because that rear bar is right in the way there. Let's try and do that one after off camera, so I can have a closer look at it. It's quite difficult to get to that one. Right, that one went on nice and easy. So S-bend it again. That up and on to the bottom of there. And the final one. Quite easy to get it on the V-clip. It's when you're going up to, I think injectors or sparks. I'm unsure. Okay, so as you can see, there we go. They've all got like an S-bend on them. And I'm just going to go off camera and I'm just going to push these just right up, just so they're nice and flush. But I don't want to do it while I'm on camera because I can't quite get to them and I can't quite look in detail and I don't want to snap any of them. So off camera I'm just going to push them all up and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, and now I've done them. So as you can see, I put them all nice and flush. So they've got the S-bend in them all. They all go just nice and neat there. So yeah, weren't too bad off camera to push the rubber pipes up. So let's move on to the next step. Okay, next step is 31Js, and we'll put all these on the blue plugs. Yeah. So we'll go on the plug first. Push that nice and tight. Yep. And this one just bends down because it's the end one. Just try and put that on there. Okay, so that one was quite not too bad to do, as you can see. On the end now. The rest of them though, I think have got an S-bend. Yes. Oh god, so it might be easier actually to put. I can just turn that one a little bit. Quite difficult to get in that one. There we go. And then onto the blue plug at the top. And there we go. Yeah, not too much of an S-bend in these ones actually. You can just over the top. Some of these are so tight in. Maybe I should have added these a bit more. Maybe. That one, yeah, that's all on. Onto the blue plug at the top. And there you go. Next one. Definitely not easy to get on, especially when they're down that far. Yeah, believe that one's on. There we go. That's that one in. 2 more. Thank goodness for that. Okay, that one nice and easy. Okay, that one's done. Lovely. Last one. There. Excuse me for that. Someone's at my front door. Okay, that's that dealt with, and they're back on with the build. So it's quite difficult to get on. There we go. Done. So as you can see, there we go. All the lines on. And then I think that's it for this issue. So the extra parts that you've got, obviously the radiator, these little parts, and your 2 last sets of screws, will all be for the next issue, which will be the final issue in this package. Okay, let's move on and do the final issue. And here we have issue 32, the final issue in this package. As you can see, pretty simple one to end on. I think we've got firewall and some small bits to go on, so it shouldn't be too hard. Move that to one side and we'll have a look through the book like we normally do. Loads of that developing the skyline. On, a quiet man. The launch of the GTR. And then yeah, radiator firewall. There you go, once it's all put together. Okay, so here we have issue number 32 parts. And as you see, you don't have a lot, but you have the parts from obviously the last issue that we didn't use, which are obviously going to be in this issue as well. Okay, let's move on and start building this. So first bits we need are the radiator. So just inserts in the holes there, so it's just like becomes one piece. Very cool. And we also want to take this piece and then put it here as well, where the screw lines are. And then we need 2 AP screws. We need 2. And then one's going to go here and one's going to go here. Okay. Don't need to go too tight, just tight enough. Just so there's no movement in it. And that one on as well. There we go. That's that part done. And then I think we're going to turn it up the other way. Then we've got the top of the radiator cover. on the top of the radiator cover, this part here, where it's like here, just fits there and there. And then we're going to put 2 LP screws in the top. Small screwdriver this time. So tight, not stripping your threads out because it's easy to do on these now. It's a plastic on plastic piece. We'll just strip the thread out, so just so it goes nice and flush to the top of the radiator. Don't think this one's finding the hole. There we go. And there it is. So yeah, just so it sits nice and flush to the top of the radiator. Nice. That bit done. And what's next? We've got this part of the radiator, as you can see. We've got this part and this part, and they fit together like that. This little black part sticks out on one side. As we turn this over, you'll see which it only goes one way. It's straight in the top, and there we go. Radiator complete. And if we bring the firewall back in, the radiator to one side. Also we've got this little part as well. With the wiper motor. Just turn this around. Okay, so where does this wiper motor go? Up here, right in the corner. I believe it goes. And then you want to screw this on with an AP screw on the back. Let's get an AP screw. And go right through the back. Just hold it in place. And that's it. Nice and tight, no wiggle room. Complete. So, not too bad for that last issue. Quite an easy one to put together. You have still got these 2 little parts where it says keep them like little brackets, 32Cs, keep them for your next issue. And that brings us to the end of that package. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you for watching, but please do like and subscribe to the channel, and leave comments. I always like to read the comments. If you've got any ideas for me or how to make my content a little bit better, please do let me know. But I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and collect what you like.